Bum, bum, bum. Rising up. Hey, good morning. Once again, that's a good bass kick. Good job, man.
That's why we're
so big. I think I should climb inside of Johnny and wear him as a man suit.
You could.
One day. That's
sort of weird, but
that would be weird. You'd be dead.
Or like if we ever died in like the tundra, you can totally cut me open and use my body to survive. I don't mind.
Like the like that thing in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Definitely all the gooey little tubes that
it's true.
Han does.
Just climb right in there. I think I'm roomy enough.
That's so sweet. Musical tourism, that's the topic of today. Where would you want to go see your favorite band across this globe? We've come up with some of our favorite lists and some sort of like outliers you might not have thought of before. The greatest, biggest hits, obviously, right in there. But it's a fun idea. It's a fun idea. It's a fun sort of thought grenade on how to spend way too much money that you don't have.
Exactly. So it's nice to fantasize about it.
No, because I was talking to this friend of mine over the weekend. This is a really nice guy. I don't say names again, but he's in the construction business, does roofs, and he's just cool.
Cool.
And he loves Guns N' Roses. And
awesome.
I love Guns N' Roses. And he was talking about he's going on a European tour where he's following Guns N' Roses this summer. And I was like,
that's really cool.
What a fun thing. His wife's like, I'll go to some of them. But she likes to go with him. But I think he saw GNR in like Dubai. Like he's done everything.
See, that's really cool. I have some friends who follow Widespread Panic like that.
Yeah, and like Fish.
They do the
Denver,
Mexico
obviously.
thing every year, and.
But like we want to get to like the venues that are like venues like across the world that that are destination places that are on bucket lists. I'm gonna start with one of the biggest ones. I'm gonna say Royal Albert Hall. That
would be amazing.
If my wife was like, hey, Oasis is getting back together, tickets are $1,000 each, not for front row, for anywhere in there.
Just to be there.
Yeah. We're going to do this. I'd be like, we're doing it. We'll figure out how to make that work somehow.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. That's a $10,000 trip at that point, probably.
I cannot think of the Royal Albert Hall and not think of Clapton. Right. Because I think of like the Cream reunion.
I think of Killers. Too, because that live video they did.
That's true.
Which is so good.
But so much of me growing up and learning to play the guitar and, trying to learn to play that stuff it just centered on that place. So I think it would be.
I think that's one of the, and like just London. And you're in the city, like you're having pints left and right. Then you're going to see one of the best shows. You stroll out. Like I just saw the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna go have some more pints, and then we go back to our hotel and have a great night. It's magical experience. I think that might be up there in the number one areas.
It'd be like yell some soccer chants in the wrong side of town, start some fights.
Got some Man U and some Man City fans and Liverpool, mix it all up there. It's dangerous.
Or just call it soccer. Start some fights right there.
I feel like there's a great movie. I feel like Elijah Wood was maybe in one of these. I might be totally wrong about like the Hooligans or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, let's go with number 2 on the list. Red Rocks.
Red Rocks. I have been to Red Rocks, but not to see a show.
I think Derek has seen the Killers at Red Rocks.
Which cool is that?
It's sort of a magical place to see a concert. It's one of the most beautiful concert settings in the world.
Yes. I feel like that's like jam band mecca.
Yes, like Fish,
Grateful
Dead, even like
Marcus King, Tedeschi Trucks, all that. I mean, I would love to see any of those folks there.
Mumford and Sons did like their sort of famous video shoot there for that, and that type of band you want to see out there.
Even like Dave Matthews. How cool would Dave Matthews be at Red Rocks?
Especially Dave Matthews circa 1995.
Yes.
Like
when they had the actual live Red Rocks thing. That would be pretty fantastic.
I think it's one of the most beautiful, spectacular sounding settings out there. Let's go with yours at number 3.
The Ryman.
And good old Nash Vegas.
I mean, this one I have been to. I've actually gotten to play there.
He's played there.
And attended shows. Best sound. I mean, yeah, I can't
imagine how good the sound is. Was it just amazing on stage too?
Good. Well,
were you in ears or were you monitored?
No, we were just monitored, and it was like, oh my god, it was amazing. Sound stage was amazing.
Is it like playing at church? Like as far as like you feel something, or
you really do? And I mean, when I got to play, it was during the whole COVID craziness, so it was, even though it was just live streamed, still it's just amazing to stand on stage and play there. But I mean, like here's a good example. Like, remember when we did the thing for Brian Setzer at Ovens Auditorium in Charlotte? So we went and did a Gretsch thing. I had not too long ago seen Brian Setzer at the Ryman, and I felt like, I don't think it was horrible at Ovens Auditorium, but it just kind of sounded like this after hearing the concert at the Ryman, because it was The rhyme and sound is
Where did we saw him in Charlotte? Didn't
Charlotte,
we?
yeah.
What was that? Oh, what was that?
Ovens Auditorium.
You remember that? How do you remember that? Well, this is a funny side story. So we got there to go see the Ryan Seth show, and we were like super psyched. So we got there, and like there's always like young, beautiful women like going in, like, and sort of like when then women like, you know, our age and stuff. And I was like, this is going to be the greatest show experience ever. I can't expect. And then like I walk in, there's still people going. There's like kids going on. I was like, why are there kids going in here? This is crazy. They love Brian Setzer. I asked the security. They're like, oh no, that's the theater next door. I'm like, wait, what? Like, this is for the Backstreet Boys. I'm like, oh. I was just
That's different.
Then we got there, and it was more of the Brian Setzer crowd you expect, a more mature crowd. But it was still a great show. But it was just funny. I was like, man,
I've never seen Brian Setzer. He's
Go see
pretty amazing.
It's one of the most fun shows.
He's just so good, and the show is fun. It's fun music.
It seemed like, you know, a huge big band with horns, and then he does like the little part where he does this,
Breaks it all down, and yeah, he does it all.
His wife's back there singing backup leads, like the vocals. I mean, it's awesome. Okay, so
awesome.
let's go on to number. I think we're at number 4. This one. This is old Madison Square Garden.
I mean,
MSG.
it's just iconic.
It's iconic, and there's something about Madison Square Garden. I've seen a lot of shows there. I've seen Bruce, I think 3 or 4 times there.
Oh, see, that's cool.
And there's something about the way the theater's built. It's all in this wood sort of setting. So like when the crowd gets jumping, the whole theater does sort of this.
Whoa.
Like, so you sort of feel, it's almost like
It's cool. Like a pulse.
Starts doing that when there gets to be like something like Oasis or Bruce, when he gets the crowd, Bruce gets the crowd moving. And that guy's like 800 years old right now. And
Right.
it's just, he still can do it. I don't think he's real. He's like Tom Cruise in the music business. They just don't. Yeah, it's conspiracy theory. I just said it. No, it's a magical. It's as similar as Royal Albert Hall. Not the majesty of that place. Obviously, it's more of like, you know, something else. But it's the similarities are like you're in the middle of New York City.
Right.
You pile into this great place, and when you pile out, you're in the middle of the biggest and one of the greatest cities in the world.
That's cool.
It's just a great experience. If there's a band you want to see, well worth making the trip out there.
Agreed.
To make an event, shopping weekend, drinking way too much and having serious regrets. You know, let's move on. Where are we at? Number 5 now?
Number 5, the Fillmore.
Pretty epic place. We can start almost capsulating a few of these, like the Fillmore and I almost said like the Troubadour, and the Viper Room.
The Viper Room.
I sort of put those like in this, like when you're getting out West Coast.
Yeah,
Like,
you know. So
like there are all these amazing concerts have happened there. I'm more excited about the Viper Room though for some reason.
the Viper Room would be pretty cool. All these places you just hear people throw out the names, right? And you're like, oh yeah, that's an amazing play. And it's a lot of them are tied to these really famous acts or like a certain era.
The Crew.
You're right, where it,
Motley Crue, that is.
it became like everything sort of happened around sort of some of these little clubs. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I look at the Viper Room as like the West Coast version of CBGB's kind of.
Right.
Like, because like they're doing that during the hair metal thing. CB's is obviously before that with the punk rise. But CBGB's is gone. It's sort of like maybe reopened out in Brooklyn or something. But it's just, once it loses its original footprint, it changes. Like the Royal Albert Hall move to, Akron, Ohio wouldn't be the same thing.
Right. No.
Or even if it's moved out to, a different part of England.
No.
It's just different.
Different. Yeah. No. It's tied to the geography of where it is. Well, same thing with Madison Square Garden, right? There's tons of.
Oh no, New York's different. They'll
places,
just destroy it and they can rebuild it somewhere else. New York has no sanctity. They destroyed Edgar Allan Poe's house. Like they destroy anything. If there's like commercial like profit to be made, like wreck it. They wrecked the one like train station that was like gorgeous. It was like an amazing, and they destroyed it to build like what became Port Authority, which is this like nightmare of catacombs and ugliness. They're like, no, this will be more efficient. Oops.
It's the American way.
We screwed up. That's the New York way. They build more higher, taller. There's no like history to that. They will go up and.
It's a little bit sad.
I know. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. There's groups now that sort of fight that and kind of keep some of the. But that's part of the charm of New York too. Is it reinvents itself every 5 years. It's a new place.
All right.
Now some of the other places, like I would like to see something at Nebworth.
Yep. That would be pretty cool.
Or Glastonbury.
Yep.
Like the big UK festivals. But then the one that we just sort of think is like an outlier that you might not know about.
The Caverns, which is this place where you like go underground in these caves and you see these amazing. I mean, I've never been there, but the pictures look amazing, and I imagine the sound is super cool.
You're in Tennessee there, and you have to have a scuba license because you watch the concert underwater the entire time. So you see the killers going,
Blah, blah, blah.
it's that's not true, but it is. It could have been. It was probably filled with water at some point.
The show my kids used to watch? The bubble guppies. What time is it? It's time for lunch. It's lunchtime.
What time is it? I was going somewhere else with that entirely.
My life. I know it ruined it, but yeah, it'd be just like that if it was underwater. But anyways,
there's a really cute. This is a side note too. It's a little skit on SNL. They just did it. It came out recently in response to the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. Just watch it. It's a cute little one. There's a weekend update thing, which is funny too. But there's one where they have like a seat filler sitting with Will Smith. It's worth your watch. It just reminds me when you said what time it is. It's a really cute little.
I'll watch that when we're done.
I feel like SNL has much more viewers via YouTube than real life now, probably.
That's got to be true.
It's because, I just went back and watched that Ryan Gosling Santa Claus one. Hilarious.
Never watched it.
Hilarious. Like, he really believes in Santa Claus, and it just kind of goes crazy.
What do you mean he really believes in Santa Claus?
Well, like normal people do, is what I mean.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Well, because like a lot of the older people, when you get to a certain age, like you stop believing in it for some reason.
So
and
sad.
so he's like the true one.
When you can't hear Little Bell anymore.
Oh, that's depressing.
I know.
I still obviously believe.
Little Bell.
Yes. So those are some places. I hope you guys get a chance to check them out. If you're like a concert goer and like you're on the fence, check these places out. It's worth going.
Obviously, our list was not all exhaustive. So let us know in the comments what we left out. If there's some cool new ones that we need to know about, like the caverns, or have you ever planned like a vacation trip thing around a concert venue?
Certainly. I'm still waiting for that Oasis reunion. That's what I'm going to London.
Maybe.
I was trying to find Muse tickets yesterday too, because I want to see Muse again. I've seen them, I think, 2 or 3 times.
I've seen them once. It was really pretty awesome.
It's just an impressive feat of engineering that they can play all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that little guitar of his, doing all the cool
Chaos pad.
I love the Chaos pad, but
Chaos
and I don't like pedals that much, but I like that Chaos pad. I was like, it's just fun, man. It's like, but they're all in like Germany and UK and stuff for the rest of the year. Nothing in the US. I probably already missed that.
Yeah.
Next time,
Next time around.
I'm sort of in a concert mode. I'm sort of excited that the world's like opening up again.
That's right. Having concerts.
It's breathing. You got the MCR tickets. I want more things to be excited. I'm looking forward to some shows.
I want to go to Lock-In. The Lock-In Festival. It's not that far from us.
No, where is that?
I think it's in Virginia, right?
No, that's not bad at all.
It's not.
When is that?
I don't know.
We'll find out. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time. Hit like, hit subscribe, click the bell. Thank you.
Thank you.